Welcome to Petrol Ped, and welcome to the magnificent Donington Park. I'm here today with Michelin and RMA Trackdays to conduct a little experiment. Just what's the difference between a PS4S and a Cup 2? Well, we're about to find out. There's so many amazing cars on track with me today, including this lovely Targa 4S. But it's the three race cars behind me that I'm looking at. Is he going to let me go? Yeah. Oh, look at that. Come on, Greavesy. Strap in. Today's going to be awesome. So yeah, welcome to Donington Park. So I'm here with RMA Trackdays and Michelin to film something very special with the Michelin 911. I've been planning this for a while. I've already had a sight elapsed and there are some proper metal here today. It's a Porsche only day, so there's GT3 RSs and GT3s and Manti racing kits and all kinds of things, and the Michelin 911. But the premise of this video, what I want to do, because I often talk about tyres, and I'll talk about PS4Ss and rave about them. Now for me, a PS4S is a road tyre with track day capability, and it's the sweet spot for me if you've got a road car and every now and again you want to do a track day. So this morning I'm going to be driving the Michelin 911 on PS4Ss. What we're then going to do this afternoon is we're going to put a Cup 2 on here. Now a Cup 2 is a track day tyre with road capability. And I want to see if I can feel the difference, because I've driven cars with both PS4Ss and Cup 2s on them before, but not on track. So that's the premise of the video. We're going to be supported by RPM Tecknik, who are in the next garage. They're going to swap the wheels over for us at lunchtime so we can have a bit of a chat, and I'll show you the difference in tread patterns and talk about things like compound. But for now, the first thing we need to do is head on out onto the track and just get a feel for these PS4Ss. They're new now, but they won't be by lunchtime. No worries about noise limit today when there's a commercial jet flying across. So I've had a couple of sighting laps, but the next thing I'm going to do is just adjust the tyre pressures. So the really cool thing on the RMA Trackdays is the guy from RPM Tecknik are here. Now they run a membership scheme that you can join throughout the whole year, and they'll give you technical support on all RMA Trackdays. But today, because it's one of the last ones of the season, they're doing it for everybody. And they're also looking after the swapping of the tyres at lunchtime. But what we're doing at the moment, we're just adjusting the tyre pressures, because if you rock up on road tyre pressures, what happens, the tyres get warm and that pressure will increase, and you basically, your grip levels are going to go down and your wear is going to go up. So we're just knocking the tyre pressures back a little bit. And what that will do is two things. Firstly, it will give me better grip, but secondly, it will give me better wear and longevity on the tyre on track day conditions. I'm just going to find out how much we're knocking them back by. How much are we taking out of these?
This was close to 3 bar.
Yeah.
It's 2.1.
So you've gone from 3 bar to 2.1.
Yeah.
So I'd had 2 sessions to warm up, and I think the standard tyre pressures on these are like 2.1 and 2.4 bar. I was running 3 bar, so he's now knocking it back to 2.1. Now, the most important thing, you can pop in here throughout the day and they'll keep adjusting and for your feel and so on, but the most important thing is at the end of the day, you put your tyre pressures back up to normal to drive home. But hopefully this will give me a little bit more feel, better grip and better tyre wear. So what we're now going to do, once these are done, we're going to head on out and just have an experience of this magnificent circuit here at Donington on the PS4S. Okay, so I'm going to put it in Sport Plus. I'm going to put the PSM Sport, so the traction control, just backed off a little bit. I'm in the firmest damper setting, manual gear change. Let's follow a Porsche Cup car out onto Donington Park for some laps. Doubt I'll be able to keep up with him though. Okay, so the exit of the pits, you have to be super careful that there's nothing really fast coming down like a GT3 RS. Into Redgate. Now I'll try and talk you through this track. The last time I drove here, I was actually racing in a Clio Cup. The TPMS system's having a bit of a baby because it thinks my tyres are flat, but they'll warm up in a little bit. I basically got a very quick 3RS coming behind me. Just indicate to let him know I've seen him. So let's crack on and we'll... So they're showing 28 PSI, 31 PSI on the back, but they'll heat up and the temperatures will get into them. I've got the display on the dash showing the tyre pressures and tyre temperatures. 3RS behind me again. Bit quick out here. So what I love about RMA Trackdays is you can really go for it, and the machinery that they have going around the track is unbelievable. I wouldn't recommend them for your first track day though, because you do really need to have the eyes in the back of your head. There's some very, very quick drivers out here and some very quick cars. The rules are you can pass on both sides. The slower car stays on the racing line and the overtaking car has to sort it out. But if you see a car, just going to indicate right here, let it go past. Slower moving car ahead, I'm guessing that's probably going in the pits. Okay, so I'm starting to get a bit of heat into the tyres now. I'll tell you now the difference in grip levels compared with road pressures that I did the first two sessions on is significant. I find Redgate a very difficult corner. Down into the Craner curves, a magnificent set of bends this. It's a real sweep. Just have to have confidence in the car. Down into the old hairpin. On the brakes, I've got a 3RS coming up behind me, so I'm going to just stick to the right, let him come past. Into Starkeys. I'm just building temperature into the tyres. So PS4S then. I run them on my Spider. I had them on the Boxster before. For me, they are top of the tree as a road tyre. Phenomenal, phenomenal things. Not often you get to take a GT3 RS in a base Carrera. But they are road tyres. But let's face it, you might have a performance car. Coming to temperature now. You have a performance car, and every now and again you want to do a track day. And PS4Ss are just the perfect tyre to do that, because on a track day they'll still give you plenty of grip. You can really, tiny bit of understeer through there, really lean on them. They'll have good tyre wear, but they're a road tyre, so they've got great wet grip performance. And for something like a drive tour or spirited road driving, they're brilliant. I've got to say, for a base Carrera, this is not a slow car. It's really very impressive. It's the first time I've had an extended amount of time on track in a 911. It's magnificent. Now there's no timing on this track day, but what I'm going to do is try and set as good a lap time as I can, and then we'll time it when I get back home. So here we go, crossing the line now. Not saying a great deal because I'm just concentrating so much. Lovely change of direction through there. Bit of understeer, just struggling for the, a little bit of oversteer coming out. Come on, Peter. And then back on yourself. And cross the line there. That was a clean lap. Now, interestingly, I can just start to feel these tyres not going off, that would be too harsh, but they're warm. But I've been out here, I've probably done 6-8 laps, I guess, and it's time to go in, let the car cool down and let the tyres cool down. But that's my benchmark, that's my reference. Look at this, nicely up to temperature. A little bit of pickup just here, look. But not too much wear. But one of the things about getting your tyre pressures correct and your geo correct is you'll get proper wear across the tyre. But yeah, they certainly are nice and sticky now. But yes, really interesting. So next up, the Cup 2s will be taking the car to RPM Tecknik next door, and we're going to swap the wheels over. Problem with track days, you get really bad helmet hair. So we are now in the RPM Tecknik garage, and we're going to swap the tyres over, and we're going to go Cup 2. So we'll kind of watch that process, and I want to try and get a Cup 2 and a Pilot Sport 4S tyre next to each other, so we can just look at the differences, because there are some significant differences. So let's start changing them. The other good thing, and James is going to hate me for this, is the Porsche 911 is currently on aero wheels, and I'm not a big fan. But these wheels that are going on are just so much nicer. They are really very, very sexy. And they've got the velvet sidewall on them as well. Now, these wheels have done some work already. But you can see on the Cup 2, you've got this big, wide shoulder here. I mean, it's not a racing slick by any means, but that just in terms of the tread pattern and tread block movement on the outside edge is going to give you so much more grip. The compound is different. So once these, again, get up to temperature, you're just going to get much, much more grip. Let's get a PS4S off the car, and then I can show you those. Here we go. Now, let's see how much work I put into these tyres. Whoa, look at that. Now, let me just get them next to each other. Okay, so here is the PS4S that's just come off the car. You can see a little bit of pickup here, and there's been a bit of block movement. These weren't brand new when they went on the car, I've just found out. Joe actually took these round Spa, so they have had a bit of wear, but there's still plenty of wear in them. But if you think about the tread blocks and these patterns, they're there. It's really good at expelling water, so you've got great wet performance, but also the compound and the tread pattern gives you great track grip, as we've seen already. But if I just compare that to the Cup 2, then you can see straight away there's so much more tread block here. That won't move around as much, it will give you more grip. But one of the challenges with a Cup 2 is wet weather performance, especially when you've got standing water, because you've got basically a third of the tyre is almost a slick. There's just not as good as expelling water and getting rid of it. So, you know, on normal road conditions where you might get some rain, that's why the PS4S is just a better option, and that's certainly why I chose to use PS4Ss on my Spider. However, let's get this Cup 2 on the car and then we can see what it's like on track. Oh, how much better does this car look with these wheels? It's still got to sit down on its suspension, it's only just come down off the jacks, but you've got sexy sidewall. Yeah, it just looks absolutely mega. I cannot wait to give these a go. But before we do that, it's lunchtime. But a massive shout out to the guys from RPM Tecknik. I'm going to put all of their details below. We're hopefully going to be doing some really cool stuff with the Spider and my car, so stay tuned for that. But yes, very cool. Okay, we've had lunch. I've done one kind of sighting lap, and just to put a heat cycle through these tyres. And I'm going to go out and get my filming done. We've nearly used a tank of fuel in like 5 sessions, which I think is quite impressive. The other thing is the TPMS system is having a bit of a baby because we've swapped the wheels. It's not liking it at all, and none of the tyre pressures are showing. So that's okay. If you hear any bings and bongs, it's probably just the car thinking that the wheels have fallen off, which clearly it haven't, so I'm still going. So first things first, just in terms of Cup 2s while I get them warm. I've driven lots of cars on Cup 2s on the road, but today's actually the first time I've driven a Cup 2 on track, and they are designed for track use. As I said, they're a track day tyre with road capability. They're almost a cut slick, really. They're phenomenal things on track. And on the road, they're great. Their biggest weakness is standing water. So if you have them and you do get caught out in a big shower, like I've done on a few press cars, they can be a little bit sketchy. And that's, for me, is where the 4S comes in. Such a good road tyre. And for the kind of driving that I do, perfect. Now, when I bought my Spider, bearing in mind the 718 Spider came with Cup 2s and you could option in 4Ss if you want, I was really tempted to put Cup 2s on it. And I spoke to Joe and I spoke to Michelin and I said, look, do I put Cup 2s on the car? And I made the call to not do it. I thought, no, I put a fresh set of 4Ss on, and I'm really happy with that choice, to be honest. But I've been really looking forward to just spending some time look at that. Oh, GT3 RS in front of me. With Cup 2s on the car. Just a quick one to add in, by the way. The 4Ss I was using this morning, I thought they were new and they weren't. They're the ones that came on the car. That car's done 7,000 miles. And they're the original tyres. And they're the same tyres that Joe had when he took the car to Spa. So he's done some laps of Spa. And the same thing with these Cup 2s. Joe's actually done a couple of laps of Spa in them. So they're not brand new. And if you have the right pressures, they can give you really good longevity. Now we're starting to get a bit of heat in the tyre. Straight away, I just feel, especially there, more lateral grip. It just feels more planted. The braking, I've got so much more confidence on turning. The sighting lap I did before, I turned the cameras on. The car just feels planted. I feel like I've got a bit more confidence under the brakes. I mean, this car's so good at braking for a standard car. It doesn't have, you know, the Porsche ceramic brakes on it or any trickery. It's just a standard base Carrera, and it is a brilliant thing. So now we've got good temperature in them. Just really, really on here. It's a big brake that. Off the brakes, bit of trail braking. So that's a GTS in front of me. I've got a race car behind me, I'm just going to let him past. So much front end on that. No understeer, on the gas. I'm in Sport Plus. I've got the suspension on firm, I've got the traction control off. And now these 3 laps in, they're warm, they're sticky, and I can really push on. Especially down there through Craner, they're immense. Got a GT3 RS behind me. Just pull over to the left, let him past. Go on, mate. Like I said, these RMA track days are brilliant, but they've got more of the feel of a test session or qualifying than they have a track day. You have to have your wits about you, because there's some very, very quick cars here today. And it's, what I haven't mentioned as well, which is really cool, is it's unlimited noise day. Always makes me laugh at Donington Park when there is a noise restriction, because you're riding the flight path to Castle Donington, so you're there trying to keep your car under 98 decibels, and you got jets flying over. I'm not quite sure whether that one's a third or a second, to be honest. Probably a third. There, look, just flat chat, you can just get on the power so early. It's sharpened up the front of the car, no end. Gives me lots of braking confidence. I'm in a base Carrera and I've got a GTS in front. Now he's going to leave me on the straights, but when I get to the corners, there. Now the other thing is, I'm just starting to, you can just feel the car moving a little bit. But the thing I love about, well, I felt it in the 4S to be honest, but I'm feeling it in these Cup 2s as well, is the breakaway is so progressive. You know, it doesn't say, oh, I've got loads of grip, no grip at all. It's just loads of grip. Now we're just going to lessen off the grip a little bit, and you're just going to have a little bit of slide. Pretty good view out front, right? Now he'll probably lose me on the straights because he's got a lot more grunt than I have. Off the brakes, take some more speed through there. Yeah, it's definitely a third. And I've come out of there, better exit speed, look. We've got a big gaggle of fasties coming up behind us. I was going to have him there as well. Just keep it nice and wide off the racing line, let them come through. Yeah, well, I'm going to have to come in now. because I've used a whole tank of fuel. Saying I've got 21 miles left. Oh, mega. The comparison between these tyres today is going to have to be subjective because there's no timing and I haven't had a real clean lap with no traffic. I'm going to go in because I'm a bit worried about running out of fuel. We'll get some more fuel and then maybe come out again. But the difference, these Cup 2s, you can just push. They're so confidence inspiring. Absolutely mega things. So, I think that's all my driving done. I always get to the end of a track day and think, oh, should I go out once more? And then I think, no, it's probably let's just finish. So my summary of today, first up, I want to talk a little about the car actually. I'd not driven a 911 in anger on a track day before, and this base 911 has been super impressive. I mean, it looks great with the aero kit and the wrap and everything, but from a performance point of view, it is very, very impressive, considering this is the entry-level 911, and we're up against GT3s and GT3 RSs and GT3 RS Manti Racings. It's been unbelievable. Let's talk about the tyres. I mean, first up, Cup 2s. If James brings the camera around and just has a look at the pickup on here. So, as I said, these Cup 2s, it's the first time I've driven them on track. We've got a little bit of pickup there, look, and they're still sticky and warm. We've just taken the car for some fuel. So, they are a super impressive tyre. And I think for me, driving them back to back is something that you often don't get the opportunity to do because you need to go to a track day with a spare set of wheels and get someone to change them over for you. 4Ss this morning, very, very impressive. And I think for 80% of drivers, that is more than enough tyre for any track day driving you're going to do. And you know that on the way home, if it chucks it down with rain, you're going to be okay. So I'm confident that I've got the right tyre on my Spider. However, these things, a Cup 2 compared with a 4S on track, it is night and day different. As soon as you get them warm, the amount of confidence you get, the amount of grip you get, is just on another level, and it allows you to really exploit the car with a lot of confidence. Both 4S and Cup 2, when they break away, they do it really gently, so you know it's coming, so you can just feel the car moving underneath you, which is nice. Some people might not like that, but I'm not a power slide, king or anything, but you can just feel it moving, and it gives you lots of confidence to deal with it. Big takeaways: tyre pressures are everything. Two really important bits of kit you want to take with you on a track day is a tyre pressure gauge. So you can reduce your tyre pressures. That's going to do two things, remember. It's going to give you more grip on track, especially when the tyres get hot and you start to increase the temperature and basically the air gets expanded and you'll get a higher pressure in the tyre. But also it's much better for wear. But at the end of the day, and we mustn't forget, because James has got to drive this home this evening, to put the tyre pressures back to normal road-going tyre pressures that you'll find on the little sticker on the door sill. The second thing you probably want to bring to a track day is a torque wrench, so that you can, on a regular basis, check the torque of your wheel nuts. So every time you come in after a session, check your tyre pressures, check your wheel nut torques, and you will be good to go. But yeah, this little thing, I am mildly in love with this car now. I wonder if James will let me take it home. I don't know really, but what's your experience of 4Ss versus Cup 2s? Have you driven either? Which one do you have on your car? I'd love to hear your experiences, but if you enjoyed that video, I need to say a massive thank you to the guys at Michelin for organising this, for Leighton and all the guys at RMA Trackdays. They are an amazing event. If you're an advanced track day driver and you want the ultimate track day, these are the guys to come for. It is absolutely exceptional, brilliantly run, and for me, I've seen amazing driving standards today. I also need to have a big thanks out to the guys for RPM Tecknik for swapping my wheels over, for checking over the tyre pressures and generally looking after me today. I'll be doing more stuff with them in the new year with my Spider, with a bit of luck. But yeah, that's me done. If you enjoyed that, please give me a thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Petrol Ped for plenty more content to come, and I will see you on the next film. What do you reckon, Steve? Did I do all right?